Hello everyone who watches this review here where they look at the Toys R Us exclusive Magneto vs. Zero Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Mini-Mates pack. Technically it might not be versus, it might actually be a team up. I don't know. I don't know, it's kind of weird how they have the tape set up here. I don't think it's been opened previously. At any rate, I believe this was the second wave of figures. Can't recall who's in the first one though, so I could be mistaken entirely. But it looks like for each pack they're doing one Capcom character, one Marvel character, so sort of equal time. The only other one I was sort of tempted to pick up was the Mike Hagar Hulk pack, but I think I might hold off on that. A little bit of a read up on both characters. I assume everybody's familiar with Magneto, but if you don't know who Zero is, he's from the Mega Man X series, and then later had his own Mega Man Zero series, in addition to some other continuity stuff, but this is based on the X appearance rather than the Zero appearance, which is why he's got those sort of crazy Jello cup boobs there. I don't know, never really liked that design element much, but yeah. Hold on a second till I get them out of pack. Now immediately inside the pack, because you can't really see it, the window is partially obscured by the packaging, we have a look at the accessories here, which includes a beam sword for Zero, as well as two little energy projectiles for Magneto, and an alternate hairpiece as opposed to the helmet, and a flight stand for Magneto. So Zero really got the short end of the beam saber on this one. And in fact, they do depict Magneto with some of his alternate stuff. But not Zero with his sword, despite being I guess, sort of more iconic thing. I really wish they'd included like a little, shoot, I forget what they call the actual attack, but just one of those big plasma energy projectiles. It also comes with this little mini poster, which is kind of neat. A little mail-in thing. Up here at the top you see Magneto, Sentinel, who I can't wait to get. Magneto, who I have, obviously. And it's pretty decent. Then this is all stuff from a previous wave. I might pick up one of Mr. Sinister's at some point. I don't know yet. Oh look, they also have the Captain America the First Avenger line and a little comic used Mini-Mates, so gives you some ideas, people, if you want to photograph your Mini-Mates and insert captions. I'm personally not going to do that, though. Again, kind of weird that Magneto has so much, while Zero gets so little. I guess it's just the way things work. Not sure what the heck this is. Maybe it's actually for Zero. It's a generic stand, but this one's definitely probably a flight thing for Magneto. And actually for a second I was a little worried that they didn't do Zero's hair or anything, but as you can see it's all here. Or hair. Yeah, that was awful. The figure itself, pretty decent. As you'll notice, Magneto is more of the standard Mini-Mates body, so you can really see where they built on the additional pieces, such as with the boots here. Little, I guess, enhanced, it's kind of like gauntlets than his cannon, or Z cannon. Can't remember what it was called. It was just like a Buster cannon in the earlier stuff, but because of that, in the shoulder pads, he can't really move his arms all that much, which kind of sucks. As always, the parts are interchangeable, so you can actually pull off the helmet, and you can use either, say, Magneto's helmet on him, or toss on the hair, leave him bald. I do like these little eyes here, they're very expressive. They have this really determined look to them. The only sort of downside to this is it takes up more effort when you're just like moving the head, because the helmet will move as well, so, you know, eh. Articulation-wise, by the way, in case you aren't familiar with the line, they have shoulder articulation. Generally, it's a ball joint, single joint at wrist. It should have some movement at forearm, like it does right there. You'll have a point here at the waist. Then sort of balls hips, or this one's usually balled, but this one seems to be hinged. Then single jointed knee, and that usually does it, except for on other ones you get something down here at the boot. So I mean, you do get some movement and stuff, it's just not a tremendous amount. It's more for the sculpt and appearances than anything else in the general style. And I feel that does pretty much work for Zero here. The Magneto, again, more of a basic mold and stuff. Very nice head. Although the helmet just doesn't seem to fit right. No matter how I get it, it can't really seem to focus the eyes, and then there's... And that's probably why I should actually anchor the camera into the tripod. Yeah, I've been getting lazy lately. At any rate, like I was mentioning, you have this really cool, I guess, shadowed or darked out face of Magneto. Well, his teeth are visible, which is kind of funky. But rather than get that really awesome face, they did opt for a more normal one. Which, you know, not as enthusiastic about. As previously mentioned, he gets these little magnetic constructs for his hands. Can't say I really like them. Kind of wish he got a different attack, but yeah. I mean, he does use stuff like that in the game. Also, if you look at this, they really didn't put as much effort into the little signet or signal or whatever the heck you call that in the head. Yeah. I mean, in general, though, Magneto is a really cool character, and, you know, the fact he's got a little floaty stand and stuff does make this a okay rendition. So, I mean, yeah, it definitely was probably also one of the most ideal pairings, because I like both characters, whereas a lot of them, you get one character I don't really care about, and then the other one I basically buy the pack for. But in this case, you know, both characters are ones I do kind of like, although, you know, I did actually kind of buy more for Zero than Magneto, but you know what? I did kind of want a mini-mate Magneto. The unmasked head is a lot cooler, or unhelmeted, because he's technically not wearing a mask, he's wearing a helmet. This way you can see the entire face. You know, really appreciate the detail, and the hair sculpt is pretty neat as well. So that's cool. It also means that the neck isn't really gimped, so you can actually move it around. That's the other thing I kind of don't like about the helmet. Plus that kind of bends around the edges. Yeah. Then of course you can pose him holding his helmet or something. Speaking of posing characters holding stuff, here's Zero holding the beam saber. Whenever I was playing the games, I always thought that the beam actually came out of his cannon. I don't know. Maybe it is a separate saber. I think it was a separate saber in the case of the Zero series, but you know, game to game it could kind of change. So it's actually really decently, I think it's actually the Z saber, not the beam saber, but you know, it's a really cool looking sculpt. It's got the little handle here and then the translucent green plastic with some amount of sculpting. Not sure what the black little hues or something are. I guess it was just to sort of give it more of a finish, but actually a piece of that was up here when I first pulled out a pack, so I'm not sure what's up with that. All in all, yeah, I'd say this has to be one of the pretty decent packs of mini-mates. even as a non-fan, non-enthusiast, I do like this, but I think partly because they offered more sculpting and stuff for Zero. And traditionally, I don't think I generally like the overall style of Minimates. So, I am kind of selective on what I pick up from it. But yeah, this has been a look at the Minimate Zero and Magneto pack from the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 series of, I guess, just Minimates. Possibly Series 2 of it, or Wave 2. Yeah. But yeah, until next time, folks. You know what? I totally messed up and I apologize. I completely forgot to show you the back of Magneto, which is significant partly because it's got this little M on the back of his helmet. I've also got another paint defect on the top, but it's neither here nor there. But also because he is one of the flattest capes I've ever seen. Yes, you'll notice little effects and stuff for the fabric, but on the whole, the thing is basically as flat as the table here. Maybe even flatter if it's possible. I really wish they instead opted for a more billowing effect, which, would have made it a lot cooler. Also, here's what Zero looks like from behind, in case I forgot that as well. But yeah, cool figure otherwise. And because I didn't specifically say it, I should probably state the fact that you can actually position him going either way in this little thing, so it can either be like this, which is how I imagine it's intended, or you can probably just flip him around and, he's kind of floating up like that. So, just a thought.